Alrighty then, well, welcome to another one of our exciting training sessions for ICC Keyworkz and ICC Express. It's like a twice monthly training webinar that I've been running now. Like every other Monday we do this ICC Keyworkz and ICC Express training. Since the two programs are quite nicely related to each other, it makes sense to talk about them together or talk about one or the other in the same lesson. Now, last week, as you recall, I was doing this, I was talking about making a new website on Beyond Paranormal, and I'm going to skip until next time my continuation of that particular lesson, as I haven't had the time in the last 2 weeks to do the research that I really wanted to do to be ready to move forward with that website, and I don't want to waste your time with it too. So I'm going to do some other things tonight, and then 2 weeks from tonight we'll continue with the construction of the Beyond Paranormal website. Tonight I'm just going to go ahead and do a little curation to an existing blog that I have, and we'll just do some news curation. Then I want to show you some other things that you might not know about ICC Express, and then I'm going to take questions if there are any. All right, John Rose, good to see you here. Great. Okay, so I don't often share. I used to share a lot about the websites that I rank for, and in the position that I'm in, somehow that opens me to losing my ranking sometimes. So I don't often really share the websites that I've done, but tonight I'm going to deal with a real website that I have, which is mixingandmastering.net. As you probably know, I'm a musician, I'm a producer, engineer, so sometimes I will publish stuff about mixing and mastering. This is not the only music website that I have. I have quite a few. This one was kind of set up as a curated website. And the last few things I've done have come from Rolling Stone magazine, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And I also had set this up quite nicely siloed, I think, if you see. Now, I don't like the way that menu is working, so I probably will change this theme. I've changed the theme before. In fact, I just changed the theme a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not sure I'm really happy with this theme because it's not really putting the menu on top of the content, so I don't really like that too much. But you can see over on this side, for example, that we have quite a lot of keywords, and these keywords were in fact developed before the keyword tool was discontinued. So anyway, that's how long I've had this blog. So what I'm going to do is create some content for the blog today, and we'll put away Keyworkz right now, and we'll bring out ICC Express. And then we'll see what kind of content. We'll just take a look at what we've got set up for this particular blog. We'll get through a post. Try not to take too long for you and get through this nice and quickly. First thing I'm going to do is go to my settings page, and I'm going to locate that blog here, which is mixing and mastering. And I'm going to select it on the left-hand side. And notice that I have a default keyword over here, which is online DJ. That's of the many keywords that are probably connected to this blog, which we can go over here in the curation sources, profile source connections, and we can then select this profile and see exactly what keywords that we have connected to it. I have quite a few, still based on when I did create this blog in the Keyworkz style of creation. Some of these things don't really fit, so if I wanted to remove that, I'm not sure how that got connected, but I can disconnect it just like that, and it's no longer on the list. Everything else here is looking pretty well related to the niche that we're talking about. ESPN, I'm not sure if that's really related, but I think it had to do with some music production on ESPN, so that's why we ended up with that one. All these other ones are pretty good music-related keywords, so we have those to choose from if we want to select a default keyword. We don't have to do that. You'll notice that this blog, if I go into the back end of the blog just to show you this real quick. Let me just go ahead and log in. Taking its time, but looks like we're getting logged in now. So if we go to the category selection section and check out the categories that we have on this blog, you'll see that they're all set up in a siloed manner that we talk about with Keyworkz, when we create the silos. So this is exactly the same way that you could create your category silo using ICC Keyworkz. And if you look at the blog itself, and unfortunately, like I say, that theme isn't really the best one to show you this, but there's a couple of ways to get around that. If we go to the blog and we look at the menu reflects the siloing that we've done with the categories and so forth. So if I can show you even better by getting the page source and try opening that in my Edit Plus program. I just paste it in there, and I'm going to get rid of the style sheets real quick. And all these links, and then we'll just go ahead and see how that looks without any style at all, which is what the theme provides, of course. The theme is what provides all the styling to the data. So give it just a moment. This is an interesting exercise. If you've never seen this before, it's kind of cool to sort of reveal the siloing that may have been done on the front page. Seems to take just a little moment to download those scripts and stuff. Specifically, what I'm going to show you here is how this navigation menu appears when it's not styled. Wow, it's still taking a long time. So we can come back to that. You'll see here it looks more or less like a list. And it is a list, so that's what LI is. It's a list item. So that's how these menus are made in WordPress. They're actually just unordered lists, regular HTML elements, with the name of the item as the inner HTML of that element. And the point being that back here in ICC Express, we'll go back to that whenever it gets done loading. In ICC Express, we are downloading all the menu items, or rather all the categories from the blog into the software here, as you can see. And remember when we looked at the settings, the default keyword is online DJ, which happens to correspond to a category on my blog. So by having the auto match turned on, this will automatically match the targeted keyword to the targeted category. And it would allow you to do things like open the video editor with the targeted keyword already loaded to get you content for that keyword. I'm not sure if I'm going to target that keyword though right now. So what I really wanted to do is see if I could find some interesting piece of content that I would curate to my blog to make an interesting news type of post. So, Rolling Stone magazine is in our feeds, but the thing is that's I've already done the last 2 articles from Rolling Stone, so I think I'd rather not use that one if I can avoid it. Let me see what other things I've got connected. Do I have any RSS feeds? Yes, I do. So you can see by going to the curation sources, profile source connections screen, and then I click the RSS feeds radio button over here, it will show me which RSS feeds I have connected to that profile. It'll show the other ones too. If you click this checkbox, you'll see just the ones that are connected. So we might find something interesting in, say, Full Sail University or one of these BMI, Broadcast Music Incorporated feeds that they have over here. So let's just take a look. We go back to the blog curation screen and click the feed selector. Go to my RSS feeds. Give it just a moment. Now it's displaying all my feeds in, this is actually the news source selector, and this is the feed selector. So you select the source and then you select the feed. Once you select the feed, you have stories from that feed in this icon. Right now it happens to be actually showing the RSS feed from itself. If I scroll down here and I grab, let's just say the BMI.com home feed. I like to see if there's any interesting news from BMI. I happen to be a BMI member myself, and I get paid from them now and then for music that I've written and has been published. So, Songwriter Equity Act. Winter Music Conference. I think that's where they're doing a lot of like tech dance type music. And my friend Dasky does some stuff down there. So let me try that one. And having selected that one, now I should be able to view it in the source monitor over here. Just a second. And then we should be able to see the exact article right here. While that's loading, let me go back and see. Okay. Now, guys, we've had a moment, and that file that I was going to show you before has now loaded in my Edit Plus. Actually, what I was showing you was how these menus and these categories actually look in code without styling. And this is how they look, just like this. So you can see that we have, the main keyword for the whole niche. Right here we have some related keywords for the tagline, and then we have a silo set of organized links that are interlinking within this website. And that's basically, how an authority site is set up. Each one of these is a mini silo. Each one of these can be accessed, their articles, in an aggregated way. As you can see, when I go to one category, it lists out content under that article, which is basically siloing out under that category 2 other separate pieces of content under that category, which is kind of the definition of at least one kind of silo, which I refer to as the authority style silo. There's another kind that we call the mini site silo, but that's not really what this kind of silo is. So that's what we do is we pick one of these categories and try to find an article, or we try to find an article that will go well under a category. And it will also appear on the front page because the front page is programmed to show any new article in any category. So we get quite a mix on the front page. This is all easily doable with WordPress, as probably some, if not most of you, already know how to do that. If you want, we do have some PDFs and stuff that explain how to do it by hand, let alone doing it by software. If you didn't get that PDF, I'm happy to share it with you. Let me know if you want it, and I'll get you guys a link for it before I sign off today. I'm going to go ahead and see what kind of article I can get. So I was looking at this. That's really not very much content, so I don't think that's a very good article right here. Let's see what else we can find. So I don't like that. I'm just going to, I can either do undo or clear. Okay, Royland, I'll get you that link before tonight. Thank you. And I'm going to clear this title too. I should actually have that clear, but this is just for the content to clear here. So let's see. Let me try the Full Sail University, because that's usually a little bit hipper. Okay, so we got some stuff about film. Full Sail is not just music, it's also film. Let's see if they've got anything good about music in here. Not much right now. Okay, so let's just, maybe I don't want to do RSS feeds. Not sure if I have the right Google alerts. Let's look at my Google alerts and see if I've got any good topics. So I've got the Google alerts loaded here, and they all come up here. That particular account, as you probably know, in the settings, I've selected the Google Alerts account here, and it's saved with my account. Therefore, it will get parsed. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, I was talking about ICC Keyworkz, which is our other software. And if you're here for ICC Express, you might not know about Keyworkz. I would direct you to our previous webinars in this series, and definitely stay tuned to future webinars where I'll be using it. Today I'm talking about ICC Express, but yeah, that's a different program. I'll give you a link today also where you can go get more information about it. Sure thing. So I haven't been very successful yet in finding a very good article on BMI or on Full Sail. It's pretty limited. I could go out there and find more RSS feeds. I won't do that now. I'm going to see what I've got for Google Alerts. What are the topics that I have here? I've got some music topics in this particular Google account. Let's try hip hop music. See if we've got some news. So if there's news for that topic in Google Alerts, it's going to come in here. Looks like there's some good stuff in here. So Google Alerts is still a good way to use ICC Express for sure. I had to put in a little bit of fancy programming because they were using 301 forwarding links. So we put in extra programming to follow those links and get the original link to the news. You can always go see the story with this thing by clicking the world icon over here on the right. Let's see what we've got. Jay-Z launches streaming music service. That's not bad. Jay-Z wants Tidal to extend the album cycle. That sounds like a very, very good bit of news, actually. I'd like to read more about it. I don't want to waste your time by, really fully researching, which I would probably take 20 minutes to really read through everything and figure out what it's about. I can't really write intelligently about something until I do that. there's a lot of stuff about Tidal music streaming service. So that looks like a pretty big, yeah, Eric Clapton turned 70 today. Yeah. That's a good one too, yeah. Tidal looks like it's a pretty big trending topic right now. Tidal service is going to disrupt Apple's Beats, according to a source. Hotnewhiphop.com. That looks like it could be a good byline, sort of, to curate from too. So I'm going to go ahead and try that one. Yeah, I'm going to use the blue T because, before I do that, just to keep everything really nicely aligned, I'm going to be smart. First, I'm going to go over to settings. I'm going to choose an appropriate keyword for the main keyword. This is really kind of an important step when you're using ICC Express. So since we know what we might be curating now, I'm going to try to find something here about hip-hop music. I'm pretty sure I got someone in here about that, but if I don't, I can just add it. Or, actually the keyword should be something more like streaming music provider or something like that. It's not exactly going to be what, we don't have that as a category in the blog though, so maybe the smarter thing would be to try to choose one that we have that would match with what's on the blog already. For example, electronic music production. That's right, John. You're absolutely right. That's why I'm picking. John chimed in with a great comment here, which he says Tidal is not all about hip-hop. It is a streaming media platform. That's right. So that's we're thinking the same way, John. That's why I went for electronic music production, or that's not even the best one either. So let me look a little bit deeper here. See what we got. The music business, music mix download, that could be something like that. Music production. Let's see. Song. That may be the closest thing that I'm seeing right now. Music mix download. Just to sort of put it in kind of a similar category. So you notice now when I select this one here, it appears over here in the default keyword field, and then I'm going to go ahead and save that. Because by saving that, now that's going to propagate that keyword throughout and whatever I do on ICC Express. So when I go back to the curation screen, now hip-hop music here is actually the Google alert category that I found that story in, right? So that's just how I managed to get to that story, which that story is about a streaming media platform. It's not about hip-hop, even though the guy that's putting out Tidal is a big hip-hop star. So that's why I have music mix download. You notice it's auto-matched. These are the WordPress categories downloaded from my targeted blog. And just by making that keyword the default keyword, we are automatically now going to target that category on the blog with any new content that we do. So let me go grab that story and just see if it's a decent story. It comes from hotnewhiphop.com. And I'm going to click the blue T, and that's going to sort of format this. And oh, it did grab hip-hop music as the keyword. Now that's not right. So I have to see why that. It should be like music mix download, but it really doesn't even matter what you put in here because we're going to say I don't want to waste your time by sitting here and writing a full article, so it's going to be kind of short. It's about okay, so I'm just going to say, you know, Jay-Z's new online streaming platform is being talked about all over the media. Some people are saying it's going to replace Apple as the best online streaming media platform. Let's see what hotnewhiphop.com has to say about it. And so we're, you know, directly quoting their title, their link, and I'd like to go to the source founder and see if I can get just a little bit more of this content, and it should reload with that story, and there we go. Now, is that all we're going to see? We're waiting for it to download. Okay, great. So I'm going to grab these two. So I can just right click and select copy and then go back to the blog curation, and I like to sort of go to the source, the HTML source, and do this for the best result. And I just put it in between the two HTML quote symbols, which is this ampersand QUOT semicolon, and paste that in there. You notice there's a line break in there, so let's go and see how that looks. Line break did not come through, so we can put that there. And, you know, something like read more. And we've got a good link back to the source material. Now, all the stuff that the program generates is stuff that you need to change. It's just sort of giving you an idea that you need to, you know, create some kind of little impetus at the end there. You know, something like that. I'll just get rid of that. What I will do now is try to find some kind of a public domain photo, if I can, to go in here. And just to sort of keep it real, I'm going to go ahead and save this in my ICC Express database so that I can come back to it. And if I wanted to, and if I wanted to quit now and come back to it, I could do that. And I'm going to go ahead and now try to find a nice image. Before I post this, I'm going to fix the title too, but right now I'm just going to try to see if I can find an image. Music mix download isn't really what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Wiki Commons and give it a moment to just show me what it's got on music mix download. There may not be much on Wiki Commons for that particular phrase. Not much. So I'm going to try Jay-Z. Oh, great. Jay-Z, and see if we can come up with Jay-Z. And in fact, yes, there are quite a few. So before I just grab one, though, I do want to take a look at the rights that I have, or don't have, as the case may be. And all that takes is one little click on that question mark. And then we can come down here, and this is Creative Commons. It wants you to attribute the photo. That's cool. I'm going to just check the other ones, see if we can find one that's completely in the public domain, so I don't have to attribute it. And that's a Flickr license, so that pretty much means you have to attribute it, which I'll do if necessary. Might as well just look at a few before I make a decision. More Flickr. The thing is, I don't know, the people that put it on Flickr, did they even have the right, to use his, to use it? I don't know. If it's political, usually, yeah, if they're a political figure. Yeah, John, I was reading that. Even Madonna's an owner of Tidal. Jay-Z, the one that's out there talking about it, I guess. So let's just see what else I can find out. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Even if they require attribution, we can do that. Let me try this one. I don't want to use it without providing attribution. So what we've done here in ICC Express, that's a pretty big picture, but first we'll resize it. We put the opportunity for you to provide the attribution directly on the photograph, so you don't have to worry about coding it into your page. Although you might want to do that because you can provide a link to an authority site that way, but in this case I think I'm going to put that attribution right on the photograph. We make it easy for you. I think that's the one I grabbed, right? Yeah. So we can make it easy for you by putting the link like this. Now let's find out who this guy is. And somebody on Flickr, so it looks like yeah, so let's just try that really quick. No, that's not going to make it happen. Posted to Flickr. Well, this was on commons.flickr. That generally means that it's you don't have to provide attribution, because Flickr Commons is all about completely copyright-free files, and we went over that in the other webinar last week, I think. So I could actually come here and search Jay-Z, go through all that, see if it comes up. And there it is. So I'll click over to this, and now we'll see same thing. That's actually not where I was trying to go to, but oh well. They say provide attribution, but they make it very difficult for you to actually find a person. So I might just say photo originally found on Flickr just to make it kosher. Probably I'd usually find a different one, but we'll go ahead and use this. I don't think I'm going to get in trouble since it was originally on Flickr Commons. and we've got our attribution there. So I'm going to go ahead and upload it. And now it's actually on my blog, not on the Commons anymore. So to put it into my blog post, all I have to do is click the blank icon. That will insert the image as is from my blog into the blog post. If I already used the blue one, it would try to add a bunch of formatting and stuff. I just want the image as is. You can also address the text properties of the image by opening the image applet from the editor here, and make sure it's got an appropriate keyword in the alt text, an image of Jay-Z. That makes sense. This is the URL. As you can see, it is on my blog, and we could put a link in it. We want I'm not going to do any of that. Get rid of that width attribute too, and just say OK. And there we go. Now I'm going to address the title for you here. Sort of like make it a little, just a little change here, and then should be ready to post. Gonna kind of do a news trim to make it shorter. Jay-Z, title will extend album cycle, restore fair trade, ... Hotnewhiphop.com. Might make that a square bracket. I don't know why, just because it looks cool. Now I could go ahead and resave that. Just in case I wanted to quit now, come back later and finish it, I could do that. But I think I will go ahead and post it now. It's going to go in music mix download category. Now I could set up the automatic bookmarking right now, but I'm not going to do that because I want to show you a little something else before we get done with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and post it on the blog. I did forget to do the tags, so I can actually do the tags. Now you notice how this has turned red over here. It was green before, in case you didn't notice. When it's green, it means that it's a brand new post. When it turns red, that means that you're editing a post that already exists on your blog. So what I did forget to do here was put in my tags, comma related, Jay-Z, comma delimited, Jay-Z, streaming media, title, and we'll just stick with that for now. You go ahead and post it again. With any luck, we should have a nice piece of content. Let's just take a look. Okay. My image should show itself. There it is. It's actually after the curated section. And as you can see, we've got the tags here as well. So I might have taken a little bit longer to like really read up and provide a little bit more value, but that's a decent curated post, and that will give people something to look at, something to think about, something to click on, and something to bring more traffic and clicks to my blog. Yes, Jeff, I absolutely will give you the lowest price for Keyworkz. I'll give you two options. Happy to do it. Now, the reason that I didn't do the bookmarking here is because I wanted to show you another function of ICC Express that you might not be aware of. All of your existing blog profiles are now available for you to curate not only to but from by going down here and selecting My Blogs. Now you notice all of my blog profiles are now available in the feed selector here, because these are all the RSS feeds from all my blogs that are in my settings list over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the social posting now, which has all of my Facebook pages listed out here, including my main account. And what I want to do is I want to curate that post that I just made, and I want to share it on a Facebook fan page. So what I can do here is go to built-in feeds, select My Blogs, or it's actually not built-in feeds, but this is the select the news source, as you'll see. The first one always says built-in feeds. We select the news source, grab My Blogs right here, and then all your blogs here. So I'm going to go to the mixing and mastering blog here, and that has now loaded all of my stories from that blog into the news. And I'm going to select the JZ title. That's the one that I just published just now. I'm going to click the blue T, and now you'll see that post is now getting ready to share itself on Facebook for me. You see over on the left-hand side, it's loading the Facebook bookmark. It's already auto-logged into my Facebook account. For some reason, it's not showing the picture, but that's just up to Facebook. You know, sometimes it can do that. It might have something to do with my theme, too. I can check that out. But I'm not going to go and click this share link, although you could do that. I'm going to use this post button. I'm going to select the fan pages that I want it to go to. I do have several music pages over here. Like I have the Funkatologist you could go to. I have Beats for Days, Groophonic Mastering. If I wanted to select the top one, then I can go set random dates 2 days apart. I'm going to deselect the top one because it always will start the first one on the current time. So I let's figure I don't want this one, so I'll just say this will be the current time, but then I'll deselect it. Now this one starts 2 days from now, this one goes 2 days after that, and this one goes 2 days after that. So we can also sort of randomize the time if we want to, like this. And so now those bookmarks will pop up on the specified date and time of my blog. If I wanted to do some spinning down here, I could do that too. I'm not going to really go through the spinning right now. We'll just have it use what it uses. It does create hashtags. as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and post that now. Looks like we had a little trouble with Meets for Days, so that does happen sometimes, especially when I'm on GoToWebinar. So I don't know what's occurred, but apparently it did work okay for one of them. So we'll just go ahead and clear that. We can go to Facebook and just take a look. Hopefully something worked. I always seem to run into some kind of failure, on some small level when I'm using the GoToWebinar when I do this stuff. But that's okay. We can go and have a look. And remember, these were scheduled, so they're not going to show up on the front page immediately. What you would have to do, and hopefully it'll be there, what we can do is go to, it's called use activity logs. Where do I find that? You have to go to the use activity. Okay, so I have 9 scheduled posts already here. So I guess I can just click on the scheduled posts here and see those. That's a new one. See what happened now that it failed, and then it really overscheduled it. So I'm going to have to delete now. I don't think that's going to happen with you. This kind of thing only happens when I am on GoToWebinar. So I think I can delete those. If that weren't true, I'd be really embarrassed that this happened. But the fact is that the software works fine, but when I'm on GoToWebinar, there's some kind of weird bandwidth glitch that causes things to act up sometimes. But we did get that one scheduled. And it's probably on the other ones as well. Now, one of them seemed to work. We noticed it kept sort of going back and forth, so that was a bandwidth issue. The other thing I was going to go over the meme editor today, but so we're sort of getting late here, so I think I'll save that for another time. And if anyone on the call now has any questions that you'd like me to answer for you, I'd be more than happy to address anything that is on your mind. So I'll give you, a minute or 30 seconds or a minute to address that question in the chat box and send it to me. I'd be more than happy to address. Good question, David. Wanted to know, should you add AdSense in your post? If your website is a website that you want to run AdSense on and make money with, then I don't think you should put it in your post, David. I think you should have your theme set up so that AdSense appears in certain areas of the layout of your website. You can also do that with widgets in WordPress. And, more often than not, the theme actually has a spot for you to add those ad blocks in. I don't generally recommend you adding it into your post. And in fact, Google recently published some I don't want to say rules, but they were basically things that they're frowning on. Now, one of the things that they're frowning on is to put ads inside the content, like in between 2 paragraphs in your article. they said they don't want to see that anymore, right? Yeah, Outlander, that's a good question. I don't know, I'm not exactly sure who I'm talking to because this is Outlander. Well, I'll call you Outlander. Yeah, Outlander, I definitely, John, oh, that's John? Okay, sorry, John. Yeah, John, John asked me, do you use the same styling technique all the time? Have you checked Alex Becker's Style of Styles? And certainly I have, John. And in fact, our software addresses, several different styles of silo. And the one that I looked at today, I refer to as the authority site style of silo because it has quite deep interlinking from all over the site. The ones that Alex Becker does are the ones where it's sort of like you have a few links on the front page and then it links to a page that doesn't have a link on the front page, and then that points to another page that isn't linked, and then that page points back to a special page where all the other links point to, right, John? And so I understand completely what you're talking about, and we do have the facility to create those silos with Keyworkz. And I think that's another thing that I need to talk with you about in an upcoming training session. I have gone over that in the past, but I will be happy to do it again. The way that you do it is you use Keyworkz to make pages rather than categories, and you link those pages to each other in the shape that you want it linked, and it will do it for you. Christopher, good question. What about Amazon ads from ICC Express and the Post? Absolutely. Absolutely, and we have the ability to do that now with this section here. When you click the $, and you can search for ads in Amazon if you have an account set up, and then you can get the ads like this or like this and insert them directly into your post. So that's a little bit different to me from AdSense, but you still probably should put it at the end of your post rather than in the middle of it, unless your post is about that item that you're trying to, bring attention to it or whatever. So yeah, it works great. All you have to do is go insert it, and then you've got it right in your post, right like that. So you can do your curation first, and then add an advertisement from Amazon, and I totally think that's excellent. And you get paid. David asked me, is backlinking style good to use or not? You mean like the authority style silo or the deep linking style silo? Is that what you mean, David, or is it something else? Are you talking about backlinking in general? I wasn't sure if I understood your question. Of course, I probably wouldn't offer something at 0 unless it was really good, because once you get them over there to Amazon, then whatever they buy, you get paid for it, whether they started out at 0 or not. Yeah, David, black hat or white hat, that's a really good question, and honestly, I think it's kind of a gray area. I actually do have people working for me that do white hat SEO for a lot of my sites, and basically what they do is they're just going around getting them listed in directories and that kind of thing, because there's a whole lot of them out there, and it's not just about doing like spammy comments and that. I wouldn't recommend that. I would say stay away from Fiverr. if you want to have somebody doing your backlink for you, you should really interview them a lot and find out, make sure they're not going to do something that could harm your website. Unfortunately, I made some mistakes in the past where I've hired people and then like 2 weeks later there's like 5,000 links with the same keyword on the same friggin' domain, and they're all comments from posts all on the same blog. It's just ridiculous. How could anybody think that's going to help you? That's just kind of out of the realm of possibility. Oh yeah, Terry, replays of past webinars. We do have the link in the GoToWebinar email for you, but it's also available on instantcontentcurator.com blog, if I can find the link. I'll give it to you. I have a directory. I have a page on this blog.
Hello.
I have a page on this blog that has links to all of them, but I don't remember what the link is. So I do think it's on the GoToWebinar email. I will. So I guess I can just log in and get it for you real quick. Since you're here, you want to get it while you're here right now, like 2 days later. So let me just make sure that I can get you that link right now. And David, black hat or white hat? Well, white hat's definitely good. Black hat, I think, is iffy. I do think that there's probably a way to get yourself ranked with black hat stuff. I also know there's a huge team of engineers that are working to figure out what you're doing when you do that, and at some point they probably will figure it out. So I always recommend just building assets, which means building good content. Just the more assets you build, the more worthy it's going to be. Here we go. And then when you build good content, then you can do white hat SEO on it, and it will help a lot. The black hat SEO may help, but it also may shoot yourself in the foot. Now here is the archive. I just sent it to everyone. You should all have it now. I just sent the URL for the archives, and I'll send it again. There you go. Those are the replays of the past webinars for this training series. Okay. So I guess we're going to say goodnight pretty soon. It's just coming up to the top of the hour here. And people had asked me for these links, so I'm going to go ahead and put them up for you. If you have Keyworkz and you want to get ICC Express, you can get it here. And if you have ICC Express and you want to get Keyworkz, you can get them here. We'll get them both on the screen for you. Yeah, Keyworkz is an entirely different product from ICC Express. Hey, Dab, glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Yeah, Keyworkz is basically a program that allows you to search for great keywords, build a structure, and create your blog in about half hour if you want to. And you can do it again and again. ICC Express is the program that's going to help you to continually put fresh content on that blog once you make it. Okay, so I hope that explains the difference between the two. And right up here, this link at the top is some other webinars that we've been given. You may be on those webinars too. I do once a month like a curation mastermind group. and you can get on that webinar by going to that link over here. Join our Facebook group if you're not on it. Pick yourself up a copy of our software if you need it, and guess that's about it, guys. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope everyone got something out of this. And we will see you again in 2 weeks when I will continue the Beyond Paranormal website construction. Hey guys, so you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you again soon. And John, I will, man. BlueFrogStudios.ca. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Have a good one. You out.